Freedom Care Group is a registered NDIS support provider. So we provide support services to people with disability that are funded by the NDIS. Freedom Care Group was formed as an amalgamation of 3 separate NDIS providers, and the owners of those 3 companies are currently the managing directors of Freedom Care Group. When Freedom Care Group was formed approximately 3 years ago, we had a combined turnover of about $3.7 million. In the last 6 months of 2022, our turnover was $10.6 million. We're listing in order to continue our amazing organic growth and to further our growth through acquisition around Australia. The NDIS was set up approximately 10 years ago, and it was an amalgamation of lots of federal and state government bodies that were supporting people with disability, and they brought it all under the umbrella of NDIS. And it's a wonderful system that does support Australians with disability really well. And essentially, the NDIS gives a plan to a participant, a client that has a disability, and they're funded for all sorts of aspects of supports. And Freedom Care Group works in that space to provide the supports, and we provide that in a very professional and compliant way. And then we do our claims from NDIS or the plan managers for that. In the NDIS space, there's 18,000 providers and about 600,000 participants Australia-wide. The good providers and the progressive providers, they go through an auditing and a compliance process where they actually get an official NDIS registration in order to operate in this space. The core operations of Freedom Care Group includes home and community participation, supported accommodation, allied health, behavioural supports, support coordination and plan management. What really has differentiated us from other players in the space is that we are practitioner-led. Myself and Waleed, the other managing director, have a chiropractic degree, and I practiced chiropractic for 31 years. So we can engage with stakeholders of participants on a professional and clinical level, and that makes us stand above the other providers and gives us a competitive advantage. In the financial year of 2021, our turnover was $3.7 million. In the financial year of 2022, we had a turnover of 12.2, and in the first 6 months of financial year 2023, so up to December 2022, our turnover was $10.6 million. All that turnover has been done predominantly in Sydney and in Greater Western Sydney. We're hoping to replicate our performance and our model in Melbourne, Brisbane, Adelaide and Perth, and that's through organic growth, and the other component is to do that through acquisitions as well. My background is that I've been a chiropractor for 37 years. I practiced for 31 years and went into retirement for 4 years. I came out of retirement because I fell in love with the disability support services business, and now I've been involved with that for 3 years. One of our other managing directors is also a chiropractor. He's been a chiropractor for 12 years. That's Waleed Jamaluddin. And the other managing director is Ahmed El Sayed, and he comes from a background of management and administration of medical centres. Our board includes Zoran Grizic, who is the CFO of 3 listed companies. One of the directors is Keith Glennon, and he is the CEO of a publicly listed company, and he was involved in the IPO process. So he brings a lot of experience to the IPO listing process. And we have Ola El Helou, who is in the private and public health sector. She's got a lot of experience as a radiographer and owning radiography practices. And the other director is myself, and I bring a lot of management and clinical experience to the group. Well, the biggest thing that excites me about Freedom Care Group is actually having the humble privilege to support Australians with disability. knowing the work that we do, the hard work that we do, actually makes a positive difference in people's lives. The other thing that excites me about Freedom Care Group is actually leading a team that's over 200 strong and being able to manage that team and pass on the experience in order to deliver good quality, passionate service, knowing that we are government funded and we will get paid for those efforts that are there. And the last thing that excites me is the opportunity to get Freedom Care Group to grow into a national brand. We have goals to expand our services into Melbourne, Brisbane, Adelaide and Perth, amongst other regional cities, and that really does excite me. And the fact that we are the very first support services provider to be listed on the ASX and be first to market is a real privilege.